Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks, and today I thought we would try some new art supplies because that's always fun, right? So for the past couple of months I have been subscribed to what's called Sketchbox. It's a $25 delivery box that you can do and you just get something new every month. I'm not an affiliate, I'm just an enjoyer. But they sent me something weird this week, so I thought that we would give it a try. So what they sent me that I'm so fascinated to see how this works is powder watercolors, and I have no idea how this is gonna go because what I'm looking at here is on this container, and on this container it doesn't tell me how much I'm supposed to mix to make the paint. So I'm gonna just go with my gut and put a fifth in each of these and mix it up and see what happens. Wish me luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of an overview of what they sent this month. They always send a little sticker, so I have a little Sketchbox sticker, which is cute. And then they sent me a Cotman Winsor & Newton round brush that's a number 4. That looks like this. So you can see it's just a little round brush. Nice and sturdy. I like going like this whenever I break up my brushes at first. I know that's probably not great for them, but I don't like that stiff feeling. So we've got ourselves a new brush here. They also sent me one of these guys, which I have no idea if I'll actually be using or not, but we'll keep it out. And then they also sent me printmaking and drawing 100% cotton. It says that it is 250 GSMs and it is a 4x6 canvas. And it looks like it has multiple pages in it. It says 10 sheets. So this is a 10 sheet piece of cotton here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this puppy open for us so we can actually look at them. There we go. See what it feels like. If it's 100% cotton though, I'm imagining it's gonna feel pretty good. Yeah, okay, so the sheets, I thought they were gonna be stuck together, but they're just individual sheets, so that's pretty nice. And then they also gave me instructions, because that's good, on how to use these paints. Not how to mix them, but what to make with them. So that's good. These are the instructions we're going to be following today, our step-by-step instructions. And then this is from the sketch shop. So these are called signature watercolor powders. And it says the ingredients, largest site of hard to find items. And it says mix with gum Arabic to create your own watercolors. And you can also mix apparently multiple powders to make different shades if you want to. And then this is the gum Arabic that they sent, and on the back it just says it's a liquid binder that when added to signature pigment or powder, it makes it into a true watercolor. You can let it dry in a pan for easy transport, or if you prefer tube-based watercolor, just mix the powder in and apply it to the surface. It helps control the spread of wet color and can be divided with water easily to increase transparency in the color intensity, and it can add a gloss. So once again, neither one of these two items tell me how much I'm supposed to mix in them, so I'm just gonna go with my gut and put a fifth in each, and I will be letting them dry out later, but we're gonna use them while they're still wet, because it said you could use it as dry or wet, so I'm gonna go with that. I don't know if it actually says what color these are, if you just have to kind of guess by looking at them. Like this one looks like obviously a purple of some sort, but there's no name of it on here. Not that I'm seeing anyway. So we've got this kind of purpley color. We've got a blue. We've got a stir stick. We've got an orange, a green, and a yellow of some sort. Aha, I found the name. Okay, that was not the most intuitive place to look. Okay, so this one's actually called Golden Hour, so it's a golden color. So it's supposed to be gold watercolor, I guess. This one's Sea Glass, Thistle, Smitten, and lemon. Okay, I would not have thought that this was lemon at all. So I'm glad I read those. So without further ado, let's play scientist and try and see how this is gonna go. So once again, I'm just gonna try to pour a fifth into each one and just kind of see how it goes. I have no idea how this is gonna end up, but we're gonna try our best. So I'm gonna try to open this up. I'm gonna try not to breathe on it because it warned in the instructions that the contents are very powdery. Oh good, there's a seal on it, so it's, oh yeah, very powdery. Oh, look at that pigment though. It's like a mica powder. Okay, so let's open this and maybe on the bottle I should mark a fifth. So about 1, 3. That's not right. Okay. Let's see. 1, 3. Okay, so I think I've got it marked right. So we're gonna attempt to pour some of this in and see how it goes. Wish me luck. I wish they would have given me a toothpick to mix it with. I think a toothpick would have probably worked better. To be like a little stir stick or something like that. Okay, so that should be the right amount if we're going by that. So let's try mixing it up and see what happens. Oh my God, this powder is gonna go everywhere. I can see it now. Oh, it feels so tedious. Every time I'm stirring it, powder's just going everywhere. But we're trying it, man, we're trying it. I'm gonna try to get it to a good consistency. The problem with powders is it's just really hard to get all the powder wet. Once again, this is why I wish they would have given me a toothpick instead of a spoon. I feel like a toothpick would have worked a lot better for this. Because it's just gonna get stuck in the spoon. That's what I'm afraid of. But it does appear to be mixing okay. But boy, I feel like that's gonna waste a lot of paint. But I'm gonna stir it up as good as I can. It gets kind of thick, very thick, pasty consistency. What I might do is I might take my palette knife and scoop it back in there, because look, it's gonna just stick in the spoon if I don't, it feels like. Let's keep stirring, make sure we get good. This is my palette knife, so I'm just gonna, because I'm worried there's a bunch of powder in here. Oh. This is so gooey. Okay. Trying to get all the goop off. I'm sorry, the paint, shall we say. There was a warning in here that I guess like last time they sent out these, they filled the powders too high, so they were like, it's halfway full on purpose. Good to know. Let's see if I can rub off some more of this. Okay, I think I'm just gonna put the spoon in my, set that in my cup to figure out what it's doing. And I'm just gonna keep stirring it with this, I think, because I think that's gonna work out a lot better. Keep stirring until it's all stirred up. And then I can just use the side of the jar and dip it off. There we go. So that's pretty thick for a watercolor. I'm a little curious about that. But we've got our first one in there. And oh my gosh, I just turned that whole cup gold. My cup of water will definitely need to be reignited. It turned into a beautiful gold color though. I knew I didn't get enough off of that spoon. Look at that. Looks like something you'd put in the middle of like a resin project. Okay, let me get a little paper towel to wipe off that knife. Kind of a cool effect on the water though. So hopefully that's the kind of effect that we'll see when we actually use it. So we've got that one in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw that one closed. Then we've got this one, which is sea glass. Ugh, the way that lid was on there, good. Okay. And we're gonna mix a fifth in there. There we go, that should be good. And this time I'm just gonna use my palette knife to stir it. Yeah, I think that's definitely going a lot better. Oddly enough, the gold was a lot more powdery than this one was. Like, I don't feel like this powder wanted to move. So it's good. So I'm just gonna mix it up into a good consistency. This one is not as thick as the other one, I'm noticing. So I'm just stirring it up really good. Okay, I think that one's actually okay. So I'm just gonna wipe it off. Okay, and this one's more of a liquidy consistency, even though the same amount of stuff's in it. This next color was Thistle. I'm gonna put a fifth in that one. A little bit more. And I think that's about a fifth there, so we're gonna mix that up. Looks like something you'd feed a Teletubby. Just gonna get it stirred up really good. So for reference, I would not use the spoon that they gave us to put this stuff in here, because you're gonna waste a lot of your pigment. It's gonna just get stuck in this little spoon. Now, if you were just doing like a tiny bit of powder and a tiny bit of that goo, then that could be a different discussion. But I would just start with a palette knife. This is going way better. Much better consistency too. Okay. So then this next one is Lemon. Okay, and the last of that is for the last color. So we're just gonna stir it up. Yeah, I do not think I would have called this color lemon. Usually when I think of a lemon color, I think of a lighter color. That's okay. There we go. This one looks kind of like orange sherbet. That's what I would have called it. Okay, and then here's the last one. This last one is called Smitten. And this is the kind of blue color. That didn't pop off right. There we go. And we'll just pour the rest of this in there. I'm getting my hands in the paint. Okay. So let's stir this one up and see what we get. Oh, this is surprising. I thought this was going to be a blue color, but look, it's turning purple. Like a purpley red color. Magenta, I guess we could say. I will say, for watercolors, this is a lot of pigment. Like, I feel like if you're a watercolorer, this could last a while, because I certainly don't use this much with my regular watercolors. All right, so we've got that. Let's take a good look at the directions here. So, I have gold all over my desk now. So with the instructions, they literally have all the same materials that we do, or at least they're supposed to. And all you do is just follow the instructions, and then you're supposed to end up with a picture really similar to what they have gotten afterwards. I'm just wiping off this little spoon. There we go. So, let's see here. The first step is you're going to thoroughly wet the top portion of the paper. We'll be leaving the water dry for now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll be right back, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and tape this sucker down, and then we are going to use our palette with the little colors in it and try and paint this sunset. So give me just 1 second, because I got to change out my water, because this water is going to be useless to me. Okay, so I've got the paper totally taped down. So I'm going to move my extra pieces of cotton paper out of my way. So I've got this down now. And the first instruction we get is to thoroughly wet the top portion of the paper where the sky will be. Leave the water area dry for now. And they're putting their sky all the way down to here. So we need to thoroughly wet this baby. So I'm just going to be watering my paper. And because this is cotton, you want to make sure it's probably very, very wet. So I'm going to try to do that. Oh, what is this? There should not be anything in this water, and I'm getting an orangey kind of coloration on there. I wonder if one of these accidentally rubbed onto it. That's okay. I'm sure it's fine. It will be fine. I'm just gonna make sure we're thoroughly saturated here. I think that should be pretty good. I don't really see any areas that aren't wet that I would want to be wet. So as you paint from the sky, paint light to dark. I started with thistle, adding plenty of water before dipping it toward the top. Then I slowly add smitten in as I worked the bottom of the sky. Okay. So we just kind of make our own design then, I guess, maybe? Let's try. Let's see, they want us to use this one. Shake it up. Maybe that'll help it a little bit. So they started with thistle, which is this one. It's already starting to come unmixed a little bit at the bottom there, so I'm gonna have to watch that a little bit. All right. So I might not have mixed it all the way. And I'm gonna actually use what I just shook with and use what's on the lid. Try that. Get a smidgen of the paint here. Maybe I will use this cup thing. Water it down quite a bit. And I guess we just go ahead and blop it on. They said to start with thistle, but I don't know that I would have considered this a lighter color. So it's kind of interesting to me. And it's interesting, it is a different color whenever you put it on here. So don't expect it to be the same color whenever you add more water to it. It darkens the color. Just look at how dark that is now. I'm gonna add more water to this area and spread it some. And I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just following the directions. I've never tried to paint a sunset before. It seems like I probably should have wetted this paper a little bit more. It's not really spreading the way I usually spread it with wet on wet, or like what I'm used to. So I guess I'm just kind of going for it. Okay, and then let's do what they suggested and add some of this one in here. And this one is the smitten. So let's shake that up real quick. We've got some at the top here, so I'm just gonna steal it from the top and put it over here. See how this one changes with water. So this one turns redder the wetter it is. Redder and wetter. Okay, so let's try that out in the corners. Been wanting to try one of these because I think it's cool that it comes with directions. Like I said, I have never tried to do the stuff with the directions before, and I've definitely never used powdered watercolor before. So it's definitely really interesting. And they have that coming across the front, sort of like this. Paper is absorbent. Woo! Woo Nelly. So I feel like they've got something like that going on. They have white areas in here. I didn't do that because I didn't really think about it. While the paint is still wet, add more concentrated color. Use a stronger mixture of Smitten with a touch of lemon near the horizon. And add a slightly darker version of Smitten and Thistle into the clouds. So they want me to mix the Smitten with the yellow? Okay. All right, boo. We'll try it. So I've got a bunch of Smitten in here. And then I'm going to rinse my brush. And I'm going to grab the lemon. And I'm just going to get a light dab. Let's see, leave the areas that will mostly be yellow untouched so that when you add that color later it can remain vibrant and bright. I used a stronger mixture of Smitten with a touch of yellow near the horizon. Oh, okay, so down here. Okay. That way it has that like sunshine color in it, I guess. Ooh, it kind of turns into an ugly color. What happens when we add water to it? Okay, now it's turning orange. I can deal with orange. Give us some weird looking clouds here. And then use lemon toward the center where the sun reflects. Remember to make sure the sky is dry first. Okay, so we need to make sure the sky is dry first, but we can go ahead and start on the water part. So we need to wet the lower part, it says, and then start dropping color into it. So let's try that. I'm gonna put a tab of this over here so that we can have that color again. Because we'll need this color again later for the water. So we need to do wet on wet. I need to make sure it is juicy. Seems pretty wet. And then we need to go in with the magenta. Seems like they're doing something like this, where it's darker toward the top. I think it's kind of like that. And then they added some of that lemony mixture in there. So we're gonna add some of this burnt orange. kind of like that. Get rid of this weird water line here. Okay. So then next, said if you need, you can lift some of the, excuse me, color to lift some of the light up, but we're going to be adding just regular lemon yellow in there now. Okay. And it said if you want to, you can dip on there. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to dip some of it down here because I feel like it's too zhooshy. There we go. And then we need to add the orange itself, which in their picture looks more yellow, but I'm wondering if whenever I go to add water to this, if it'll turn the lemon color that we need it to be. So it's sort of doing it. I feel like that's just a really bright ass color. So we're gonna go in here. Be real sunny with it. Hi babe, what's up?
Everybody, what's wrong? Oh, we're making a very good drawing today.
Oh, well, thank you. This is supposed to be the sun on an ocean.
Ooh. Everybody, if you like this video, subscribe.
Thank you, buddy.
Don't forget to hit the bell.
Thank you.
Oh. Forgot one thing.
What did you forget?
Don't get a boo-boo.
Don't get a boo-boo.
Don't get a boo-boo from the art.
Okay, well, that's a good warning.
Yeah, because scissors might.
Oh, we're not using the scissors anymore, Sweet Pea, but thank you.
I might chop your hair.
You think the scissors will chop us in half? I don't think so, but thank you.
Everybody, just don't get nervous of the videos. Right, Mom?
Well, I certainly am, because this doesn't look anything like what they did. But I'm trying. I'm trying really hard.
Everybody, can you hear this? Are you sure you did? Are you sure you're trying to make this good into a video?
I think I am, yeah.
Everybody, can you tell me what this is?
That is my my palette knife.
Everybody, also don't cut yourself with that.
So we've got the thistle in there. Interestingly enough, the sea glass and the gold are not mentioned at all. So I guess I'm not supposed to add them? I don't know. I'm gonna add some more of these purple clouds to the sky that they wanted. They said to do that with thistle again, but I see so much thistle in this. I'm just gonna use the other color. I'm gonna use that. What is this called? This, well, yeah, I guess they do want thistle. So they want this darker color. And they just want a smattering of clouds in front of it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do a smattering. So it's just gonna look a little interesting. Like that. And then I kind of have an idea. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the gold down here. Because it doesn't say anything about what to do with that. So I think, because I want to use all the colors somehow, so maybe we can What does sea glass green do? I'm just curious. I want to see what this looks like with water. So let's use a little bit of it and put it up here. Oh, that turns into a beautiful green color. I wish I would have known about that first. So I would have dropped that in there. Let's do that. I'm gonna drop in some of that sea glass color. So it's really pretty. Ah, look, some of the bits aren't quite mixed up in it, so we've got like little dots in our painting. But yeah, so maybe that kind of gives it more of a watery look. Probably shouldn't have done that. I'm just trying to tame it down a little bit. We're getting that mud. So what I'm gonna do is on the water, I'm gonna put the gold. And one of the reasons why I'm gonna do that is because my theory is that water glitters. So it doesn't say to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's just get a bunch of water in this gold stuff and flick it across the page. Flick it across. Really don't think this water has enough thistle in it, or if any. So let's also put like a dab of thistle in there to just kind of try and save it a little bit. Because there are some dark clouds in there. There should be some dark in there, even though he doesn't say to do that. But I see that he did something in there anyway. All right. So now we're gonna dry it and see what it looks like. Like I said, I've never used this kind of watercolor before, and I've never actually done a sea picture like that before either, so very novice level painting here. Take what I say with a grain of salt, please. But I think this might look good for a beginner anyway. So let's try and see what happens when we hit this with the heat gun. So I'm gonna do that and I will be back. So it's pretty well dry, so I'm gonna lift up the tape. And oh, I'm just using washi tape and it's ripping the crap out of this cotton paper. That I've never had happen before. Usually when I use washi tape, it just comes right up. So that's interesting to note. Don't like that. I don't like that it ripped it up so much. But this is the finished piece of what they felt we should make. So this is what our card kind of looks like, which I think it looks interesting, but nowhere near as good as what was in that book. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna try to start again. I'm not gonna use this little tray because I don't like it. And we're gonna do it my way. And I think we're gonna do just some painted flowers. And I think that would be quite nice. So now that I have an idea of what these colors are, this should work out a lot better. So I'm gonna use one of these trays here for my watercolor. And I'm just gonna take a little towel and wipe off. So that doesn't have pigments from other pans in it. Just using a baby wipe. I'm sure you could just wash it in the sink or something too and it would just come right off. wipe off most of it so that it doesn't mix in there on accident. There we go. So I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to take another piece of this cotton out. I'm not going to tape it this time because I feel like that's actually a bad idea. So we're not going to do that. And I'm just going to randomly start making some flowers. So let's see here. This gives us a really good guide of what these colors are going to do. So let's start with this one, which was Smitten. I'm just going to mix it up again. There we go. And oh, look, there's a bunch of powder in there again. Interesting. Not really what I was looking for, but that's okay. That's probably way too much paint, but that's all right too. I'm just going to mix this up. So far, I'm not quite sold on this. Don't know if you could tell or not, but this is not my favorite medium. I like watercolors, but this is weird. Very weird. It's just really, it's hard to mix, chalky, and in some cases, like the gold, gooey. So I'm just not sure, because it's not really acting like a watercolor either. It's so thick. So let's just go ahead and start with some shapes. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to make this flower like this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put that purple in there, the thistle, and I'm going to see if it lets us actually mix these colors while it's on the paper, because that's what I'm most curious about, because, you know, what's the point of a watercolor if you can't get it to watercolor correctly? So we're gonna try it out and see what happens. Okay, so let's try some of this while it's still wet. I'm just gonna goop some of it right here. Get a bunch of water, mix it up. It's still so chalky. If you have had success with powder watercolors, I would love to know what you think of this. Like I said, it's not really acting the way I would think a watercolor would. So this should still technically be wet. And it does not do what watercolor stuff does. So what I wanted it to do is I wanted it to go out and kind of mix. But that is not what I'm seeing happening right now. So I'm actually gonna dab that. So I didn't like what it just did there. So we're just gonna do some dots instead. Yeah, I don't think I like this stuff that much. And I guess we'll do that same flower in a couple of different places. So let's go here. petals in there just to make it look really full. So it's a pretty full looking flower. I'm just gonna put some dots in there. Oh, now it's doing it. Very weird. Okay, let's do a third one over here. Rule of 3 is always a good idea. It's up to you if you want to put it in any sort of pattern or put one off to the side or whatever. Just as long as you like it, who cares? You don't even really have to like it either. Sometimes you can just paint for the enjoyment of it, and it might not even turn out with anything, kind of like how I feel like this is going, but that's okay. So I'm still having fun. But I can say with ease right now that if this was ever a choice to buy, I would not buy these. Just wouldn't. This is, I can even see powder settling at the bottom of these containers, and I mixed the crap out of these. They did not have powder in them, so that tells me that the powder is stuck together in clumps, and even though it looked like it was consistent, it wasn't. Okay, let's try some of this color here, which is the lemon yellow again. I'm just gonna take a clump of that, put it down. Let's do a different shape of flower. So this time I'm gonna do like circles. Do another one down here. Okay, and we'll let that kind of marinate itself. And then I want to let's close some of these lids so I'm not getting it everywhere. Because I'm going to use all the colors in it. Let's use some more of these purple ones and do maybe some leaves. Or some petals that are just kind of like floating around. Kind of separate it a little bit. And then let's use the green for like leaves and stuff. It's not turning into that darker green color again with the water in it. Oh, here we go. Now it's starting to. There's like, it almost looks like dirt or something in it. I don't know, maybe you can kind of see it if I hold this up to the camera, but there are little black bits. And there, you can really see it right there. There's like little bits in there, and I can see it in here. I don't know if that's just powder that didn't get mixed in all the way or what that is. Don't like it though. How about this gold? The gold I was kind of digging, not gonna be lying. I liked the gold a bit. So maybe we can put the gold in the middle of that other flower. Just trying to get some to come out. Here we go. Because this reminds me of a mica powder. Like, it reminds me of like the Kuretake Gansai Tambi gold. So that I don't have a problem with. But it definitely does not act like a watercolor. It acts like an acrylic.
Precious. Hey, mommy.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stop painting. Besides the fact that my husband just said it's dinner, I'll be very honest, I didn't like these at all. So they're probably, like, I feel like, I don't know, like, they just didn't react the way I wanted them to. And like, I realized this looks very juvenile right now, but it's me trying to figure out what to even do with these because they just don't act like watercolors at all. Like, they are gritty. Even when you mix them up to where it's a smooth consistency, the grittiness comes back, and I don't like that. And if I hold this up, look at the green, and in the green you might be able to see what looks like little specks of something in it. I don't like that. And these paints are still wet, and I'm touching wet paints and they're not doing watercolor things, and it's confusing me. So yeah, I don't know. So it's been just a few minutes. It's been about 20 minutes because I went and had dinner, so everything's dry now. I feel bad because I kind of wasted this page because I really didn't paint on it as much as I was hoping to. And a lot of it is with every stroke it felt wrong. I don't know, the consistency of it's weird. It's sticky. I don't like that. It's dry, but it's sticky. Is this side sticky or is it just the green? The green and the gold are both sticky right now. And it could be, it looks like that one's not quite dry, but I don't know. It got all over me. The gold, I would say I'm probably gonna keep because I feel like the gold I could do embellishments with it because it really reminds me of Gansai Tambi in a way. Or not Gansai Tambi, but the Kuretake gold mica powder stuff. And that kind of makes sense because it's made with what looked like mica powder. But it's really weird. I put the same exact amount in all of them. This one came out the thickest. And these other ones were just runny and gross. So I do not think I'm going to be keeping these. They're either going to be file 13'd or maybe donated. But yeah, I was not a fan of how these behaved whatsoever. I do not feel like they behaved like a regular watercolor. And they didn't blow right, they didn't move right, they don't look right. Whenever you look at them on there, you can still see the mica powder bits in it. And I know I mixed it really well to where it was a good consistency because it turned into a liquid and these little spots weren't there. So I don't know if they like rose up to the surface or what they did, but it's really hard to mix this stuff. So yeah, I'm not impressed with it at all. Now, I think the paintbrush was really nice. Like, I would definitely use this round brush again, this Winsor & Newton one, which Winsor & Newton's a good name brand anyway, so that doesn't surprise me any. So I was really pleased with that, and I was really pleased with the paper, because it's 100% cotton besides the ripping. Like, I feel like it absorbed water really well, but at the same time, it even warped some. And it wasn't from drying, it was just from being wet in general. And I'm not sure if 100% cotton does that normally. I like using Arches paper, which has a lot of cotton in it, I think. Or at least it feels thick like this, and I don't have near the warping. So I kind of feel like this month's Sketchbox was kind of a bust. But I'm glad I tried them out to try a new medium. I mean, watercolor itself is not new to me, but this type of watercolor is. But I don't know. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's just kind of gross. There's no other way I can say it. And like I said, I'm not an affiliate with Sketchbox, and usually I love Sketchbox's stuff, but this stuff is not for me, I don't think. Maybe if you had one of those. I know whenever I used to work as an apprentice with tattooing, we would have stuff to mix the inks, like these little tiny little thingamajigs that you would push a button and then it would swirl stuff in there. I think you would need to do that quite a bit with this. Have a little mixer. So I think that would probably do way better than hand mixing. I definitely would not use a spoon with these. You're gonna lose a bunch of your paint pigment if you do that. And you're gonna get it packed in there with powder and stuff. So I think this was a mistake. Wouldn't use that. Otherwise, yeah, big disappointment. The only one of these colors that I actually liked is the gold. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So if you stayed with me this long, I'm really glad, and I hope that maybe you learned something from this and that it was at least somewhat enjoyable watching me kind of bumble along with this. And if you're new here, hey, welcome. I'm happy to see you, and hopefully you come again, and I'd love to get to know you. If you made it this far, give me a sun emoji. That would be fun. And I hope everybody has a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.